Here they are.
So I think regardless of what deck Julius is playing, you really don't want to go second.
I guess so. And unfortunately, that's the case. So. All right, that's the OG ones. Yeah, that could have happened. We are not playing Time Wizard. I know that much.
Yeah, straight out of 2013. Being like, what? This is not what you're supposed to do.
And we are gonna negate that with Infinite Impermanence.
I'm not sure if like infantry activate, like it has to activate. It's mandatory, but there are no targets, so I don't know like what it has to do.
They were laughing about, but here we do see some of the new support.
And here it comes, the biggest sea serpent of them all.
I love that.
And that Impermanence looking in the graveyard. Is there another card to follow up? Maybe an Impulse? No! No, nothing from Guillaume. So we're going to see the board flooded with fish.
Yeah, that's a crazy card. Legal from back in the day. This is one of those decks that you can play in Time Wizard 2010 as well. Yeah, here today you can see some of the spikes. Unfortunately, did pick up one of the pikes. Usually what you want to summon off is the 3 copies of Pike, and then sometimes you see this last random target. In the case of Julius, he decided to go with Goatee to add even, you know, another layer of, you know, fish or like water monsters to his deck.
Yeah, I just want to like show Abyss Shrine to someone like from, you know, 2013 or whatever, and just show them this card and be like, yep, you can just summon a Quellicant straight from your deck by discarding a water monster. What do you think of this card? Because there used to be whole decks based around summoning the Quellicant. I think even some are played in Time Wizard 2010. But so it's absolutely crazy. Is it even once per turn, Quellicant? I mean, he's probably exhausted all the fish from his deck, but I was wondering if you could make the Marincess link and bring it back again. Sounds quite fun.
Yeah, it is once per turn, yeah.
And here comes one of the many, possibly, Bahamut Sharks that we are going to see. We just were witnessing some totally awesome action between you two guys, but now we're back in 2024, and yeah, still the card is as relevant as ever.
Yeah, this card has definitely stood the test of time. Hard to argue with. A negate and setting a card to your side of the field. Yeah, look, he can bring it back and use it again. I don't know if he's got any more fish, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to be the card of choice. And I mean, I'm not surprised, as we have seen Julius plenty of times with the plant deck, but it's always incredible to see just the speed at which he performs so many actions. You can really tell that he's super comfortable with the deck.
Yeah, I mean, he showed us how he piloted the Rika deck incredibly well, and here, once again, we are witnessing how he knows this deck in and out. And we have been discussing this a lot, and I'm really happy to see Mirmel back in action at full power, and we're totally awesome once again.
You can see he's explaining all the different effects to his opponent now that the Nept Abyss has come down.
Oh, this is a new Nept Abyss. I was like, where's the Nept Abyss? But this link is also Nept Abyss.
Homonymous, but yeah, Nept Abyss is also one of those cards that has really stood the test of time, but that is it. Usually you do open up with even more explosive, but this still can be kind of threatening. The Goatee comes back, and let's see what Guillaume is going to try and do.
The Drag Eye, that negates a spell or trap, right? Is that?
I think so. Yeah. You have to be... You have to have a water monster in the graveyard, yes, basically, to get the activation.
But I mean, tough condition.
What does it say if you have like 10? Is that also allowed? You know. This feels like something you ought to negate with the Drag Eye.
Yeah, it's the odd draw of the Hallowed Ceremony. Let's see. Ooh, we have the second impulse. One was discarded. And And that's a popular card this weekend. Fenrir, we have mentioned it. Kashtira cards are being splashed everywhere. And yeah, Guillaume just found some of the space for a full playset of Fenrirs. That it.
Is he running any more Kashtira cards, do you think? Or just the...
I don't think so. Last time I checked, but we can check back.
No, just plays 3 Fenrir and
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Which, I mean, we have seen some players playing maybe the 3 Fenrir with the Birth.
Yeah, just one unicorn,
Yeah.
like the other way around, but no, he's just sticking to good old Fenrir. Solid card.
And I think there have been players who decided to play Dark Beckoning Basic instead of the Fenrir, but I think for this weekend we have seen most of our players relying on the Kashtira cards in their decks. And things makes a lot of sense.
And the Toad pretty much has to negate the Fenrir, because otherwise at some point the Fenrir could just attack the Toad. Do you think it's... I guess it's always an interesting choice there with the Toad and the Fenrir. Like, do you just go to the battle phase and attack it? Or do you prefer to keep playing in your main phase now?
Oof, but we also have the Snake Eye Ashed. Yeah. Really solid end.
Picking up that infantry back to the hand that Julius just did there, that looks kind of innocent, but it will provide him another sort of interruption in the form of the Abyss Shrine in Graveyard. Can banish itself and let you discard that infantry, which will then trigger to pop a card on the field.
Yeah, it was left with no more cards, but I guess either the additional pack picked up or yeah, just the opener being a little more subpar than usual meant that...
Now I think he's still going here, right? Because he hasn't used Dragite. So the Dragite will be able to check the
No, of course, yeah.
field spell.
I just meant usually you see even stronger opener from Mermail through just one impermanence. But I mean, Julius is playing with what he's got, and we see yet another you know, new inclusion straight from the latest supports.
No one's searching Abyss Sphere anymore.
Sad.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah, it feels like he very much have to negate this, right?
Yeah. And he does.
Is there any more to do for Guillaume? What are the remaining cards in his hand?
I mean, it's quite likely that there is the original still, maybe. Yeah,
There it is.
as we have searched the temple, and it is there indeed.
You feel like I feel like players like to search Temple more than original often.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it depends going second because there are merits, I guess.
Yeah, merits to both for sure.
And now comes the big question of because we also have the option to synchro. Let me check what options are also in the extra deck from Julius, because that's also a deck that really has tight space for sure.
Yeah, he definitely needs something else now, because if he lets Guillaume just play how he wants to, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. We've got access to...
Yeah, because we can still synchro summon, right?
What, so he can synchro level 10 maybe?
Yeah, we gotta check what he's got in there. Maybe the Deep Beyond? Or
That is the
I guess
one.
so.
That is the one he has.
Does it deal efficiently with this?
Yeah, it banishes everything.
It banishes everything.
Yeah, literally
it is.
every card on the field. Yeah, so
That's a lot of cards.
yeah. I mean, yeah, in this case, it's gonna get rid of some of your own, but it's really good. And yeah, you can see Guillaume maybe not really expecting this. And yeah.
Very nice interaction here from Julius.
Good recognition. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna go to his own, of course. Yep. So everything is banished, and then the Gaudi of the DP on will come back. But yeah, he has seen enough. Yep. So in the end, the final interruption, that sneaky Gaudi tuner synchro summoning effect brought out the Deep Beyond, and what an effect it was.
Yeah, I mean, he had such a weak-looking start, but then he was able to pull it back. I mean, to me, that normal summon Abyss Pike and then having its effect negated, Guillaume probably thought to himself, boy, you know, I'm in for it, but no. Julius still able to put out layers and layers of interruption, right? There was the pop from the infantry, there was the negate from the Dragite, there was the Toad, and then there was the banishing the whole field. Once again, thought he'd got through everything.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a sneak sequence there, because obviously the infantry was just randomly discarded at the start from the pike, but then the Toad could get it back, and that's, yeah, a nice inclusion. It's usually just a one-off in the deck, because you can send it, you know, with the regular Neptabis, which we didn't get to see. But, yeah, I mean, you could tell that Guillaume maybe was somewhat familiar with the Mermail cards, but the Goatee inclusion is, I think, unique to Julius' deck. We haven't seen a lot of that in all of the Mermail decks, and that feels like it paid off, because Guillaume had no idea what was going on with that part of the deck, and it was really strong. So now, what are we thinking? Guillaume probably has to improvise with the side deck.
I mean, I really feel like, I mean, against Mermail, you don't have very specific cards, but I mean, I can see, like, for example, the Skill Drain, you know, there's the Cold Body Grave. The spell Fragrance, honestly, doesn't do much, because, you know, there's the Marksman and the Infantry, there can be only one.
I'm looking quite greedily at the deck lockdown. I feel like that's very much a coverall. When you go first, you can just put it in, and Mermail, I love to search just as much as all the other decks in the meta. Cards like Neptabis, Dragoons, Abyss all want you to search the deck. So.
And not just that, it also special summons from the deck quite a bit with the new support. So I think deck lockdown is absolutely a top premium choice. On the other hand, though, I'm expecting Julius' side deck to be mostly built for going second, because it's a combo deck, right? So maybe he has also some of these solutions at his disposal. What do we think?
I'm looking at it. I'm seeing an awful lot of going first cards.
That's fair enough.
He's got the full crossout designator kind of suite, where you run one of every hand trap in the universe, and those 3 crossout designators, which is totally understandable considering the explosive power of the deck. But going second, maybe those 3 Ash Blossoms could come in. Maybe a Droll and Lock and a Nibiru. A little bit of something.
You always did them with the one-off that you are meant to Cypher cross out. But I mean, the good news is for that this is one of those decks that can actually, outside of Tempai, main the full 6 copies of the Mulchamis, and that is because although you still want to go first, they are water. You can discard them with all of your Mermail effects, Atlanteans, so it does work out pretty well. So at least he will have those in his bag, but I think our duelists are almost done with their side deck, so let's see if Guillaume can even the score up. There we are, and to be fair, Guillaume opener was really strong last turn. Like, it didn't line up perfectly, but like the opener was great. So let's see if he can top that here.
Oh, I see that first card is one you never really want to see.
Oof.
The Flamberge Dragon.
Yeah, but the rest of the end really made it up for, and I see a lot of one-offs, and he did pick up one of those cheeky one-offs from the side deck, which is the Droll and Lock, and that's possibly a premium one here.
Oh no, I saw the one-off Skill Drain. I thought that.
I know, Tom, but
it's funny nowadays. You have the 2 types of one-offs. You have the one-offs that you put because you just need them somewhere in your deck, and you really, really don't want to draw them. And then you have those one-offs that are in your deck and they're limited,
and you really want to.
You really want to draw them. But this Witch, well, I suppose the Sinful Spoils wanted presumably a 3 of, along with 3 copies of Witch, because you really want to see one of those as well. And indeed we have. Sinful Spoils Deception, not a card we've seen a lot of on stream yet this weekend, but definitely a very popular card, and the players have talked about an awful lot.
Yeah.
I think it's the kind of card people are thinking about how to deal with, picking up cards like Ghost Ogre in popularity, or cards like Retaliating Sea, but it seems like an Ash will do just fine.
And pass.
Yeah, an Ash was enough. At least the line of defense is solid through to the Skill Drain and Droll, but yeah, this was not what Guillaume was hoping for. And is that a shiny Abystius?
That's a beautifully shiny Abyss
Yeah,
Tears.
we love that card.
Interesting choice there, hitting the Poplar rather than the more common thing to summon with the temple, place with the temple. Being the other Diabell star would have allowed him to play, but I suppose maybe he wasn't thinking about Ash specifically.
Ooh. I'm not sure if the judge will allow. Yeah, unfortunately, due to the sequence, Guillaume kind of forgot that he had to activate the draw, and yeah, unfortunately for him, we are in the top 64. There are no real takebacks in this one, so hopefully this will not cost him, but I think the information is really what is more costly here, because Julius really doesn't need that additional help.
Yeah, I'm looking at the skill drain. It's quite interesting because you can deal with it in the Mermail deck with Marksman or Infantry, but if you target it with Marksman and then it gets flipped face up, it won't be destroyed anymore, because Marksman is quite an old card that has to destroy. The card still has to be set, but I'm still holding off on it, and it does make sense because I think he just wants to resolve his Draw and Lock Bird for now.
Yeah, and at least, I mean, Julius is still adding some cards, so if he wants, he can use the draw.
Yeah, I think you let the Prince resolve, and then in a new chain, the Dragoons will activate, and then you can chain the Draw and Lock Bird to that, preventing the second search from happening. Which, to me, seems a little weird, because
yeah,
like he just saw the draw.
Do we have an
So this
outfit, maybe?
Dragoon
Yeah.
does not do
Oh, he
anything.
has the cold buy.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
As
sense
well.
to me, because as Tom was saying, there is no way you do that on purpose. You know that the draw is there. And there it looks, the good old G Megalo discarding. Wow.
Wow. What is this?
This brings me back.
I could see you drawing that a lot.
Yeah.
It was a skill drain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Here we
it
go.
was. And unfortunately for Julius, the way that Guillaume has been preserving it means that, yeah, the infantry cannot get rid of it right now.
Yeah. I mean, quite clever, because if you'd flipped it earlier in the turn, the infantry could come down and pop it. But now the infantry's already in the graveyard.
Yeah, the thing is, he knew that the Neptabis was going to come out. And the thing is, the Talantians, usually you can just pay the cost. And what matters for them is when they are sent as a cost. So skill drain is not that much of an issue, but we're playing 2 infantries.
Oh, good.
I thought the standard was one.
Yeah, he sides one. And
Ooh,
he plays one in the
okay.
main deck and sides the second copy.
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen mostly one, but that's big. Because we have not normal summon yet, right?
I
No.
think he didn't, because he
He
got Tears discarded.
No, I don't think he did normal. So
No, he can normal and then activate
Yeah.
Megalo.
you can pay the cost for Megalo and just
Yeah.
destroy the skill drain that way if
Yeah.
he wants.
An absolutely stellar start for Julius.
Oof, but he has an even better way to do this. And there comes a great solution to this skill drain. This is insane, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Graham, absolutely defenseless now, and we're going to see the mightiest effect of them all. You can send like some number of Atlanteans from the deck to the graveyard and then bounce cards equal to the number. I don't even know if he's got any Atlanteans left at the rate he's been charging through his Dragoons. But
Marksman. Let's see.
oh, you can send the Prince too.
Oh, yeah.
Bounce away the remaining lines of defense.
Yeah, the Poseidra looking super threatening at the moment. We can also double the attacks of Megalo this turn and make it pretty easy to take a chunk at these life points. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my. Yeah, just a matter
That's
of
enough.
calculation, I guess. Because like if he activates the Megalo, he gets 2 attacks.
Yeah, just tribute off that Dragoons, get
It
another
is
search.
48 plus 3078, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the skill drain does it, so it's pretty easy to actually just complete this. Obviously, Julius is gonna triple check on that. Wow, even just
in case,
wow,
I mean.
what a performance! In just under 20 minutes, Julius advances yet again to another top 32 this season. Wow.
I'm shocked.
I mean, it seems like one of the most one-sided feature matches we've watched this whole weekend, really. No back and forth, no nothing. Julius, no messing around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have been waiting a while to show you guys what this Mermail deck was capable of. I've heard a lot of non-believers, especially when going seconds, but I mean, we have 2 Mermail decks in top 64, and now one of them at least is guaranteed to move on to top 32, but wow, I would be scared if I was the opponent of Julius waiting for the next round.
I mean, as you said, Mermail is very explosive, and it is just very scary. And who worse to be your opponent than Julius, who's shown he can pilot these combo decks to their absolute potential. We've seen him innovate there with the small goatee package to provide extra layers of interruption.
No, I mean, I really feel like also what impresses me the most is how Julius plays the deck confidently. You know, like I think we have seen him in action in the past, and he has always been piloting these insane combo decks. And the deck does so much, and honestly, I'm so impressed by the way he played it out, and especially because, like in game 1, Guillaume had a very good hand, right?
Yeah.
And it was not enough.
I mean, maybe we could call him the new Dinka as well. I mean, they're following similar path with the YCS win, then the German national win, and the lost in a final of a YCS. So it seems like, you know, really that is absolutely a great, player to look up to. And Julius is absolutely crushed it this season, looking, yet another, innovative deck, and I really like what he's doing. It seems that he's totally comfortable with this, combo-oriented decks, and it is for a reason. Sometimes when you even add the extra, knowledge that your opponent is probably not going to have on your deck, I think it makes a lot of sense why he's doing so well.
For sure. All credit to Guillaume, though, a good effort to make it to the top 64. Probably not, the way he wanted to go out getting, but sometimes that is the way the cookie crumbles. You play against a very strong opponent who possibly draws a slightly better hand than you did, and it can be over just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it can for sure happen, especially because, Guillaume also had a very, very good season so far. And, he's an experienced player. We have seen him in action, and also the European Championship. And, I feel like this was, as you said, only going into Julius' direction. Like, he had no chances to fight this back, but still a very impressive 10-2 record to advance into the top 64 here at YCS Bologna. And I think it will show up strongly even at the next YCS for sure.
Yeah, but obviously the more we'll advance, the more we'll be able to show you guys also what will be the full deck breakdown and also country breakdown. I'm interested in seeing how our 49% of Italians have, transitioned into the top cut. I do recognize some familiar names. Lorenzo Muselli, the current back-to-back actually Italian national champion, has made it. But at the same time, we have other really good Italian players, such as Giovanni Barone, fresh off the World Championship appearance, who actually we gotta give a huge shout out to, because yesterday he wasn't doing so well. He started things off 0-2 and managed to go 10-0 afterwards, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, it's an amazing feat, especially like a lot of players get down in the dumps after you lose those first 2 rounds. Only one more lifeline. And he pulled it all the way. But I think we can hear it now from Julius and Leo for some analysis of the match that just happened.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined by our winner of the top 64 match, Julius Schwarzkopf, who's piloting the Mermail deck. You are known for running plants, and now you're running water attribute deck. Why did you decide to run this deck?
So I think the deck is very good at hand traps. Like, all of the effects stand for cost, so also if Prince gets hand trap, you can still play through it if you have another water on your hand. So I think it's very good into all those hand traps which are running around.
So we know you for being absolutely crazy with those combo decks. How many hours have you invested into playing Mermail?
I think I'm playing it a couple, last 3 weeks, I would say. I was also maybe going to bring plants, I wasn't sure. With last week, I think Thursday I decided to play this deck. I know, I cannot say one number, but I think a pretty long time, yes.
Well, fair enough. Your combos are quite unique. I mean, you are running the goatee package. When did you decide that this is the optimal pick for the tournament?
So I tried it at the Dutch Open and it worked out well there because it's very good if you get jolted because you still put up a really board through the jolt. So yeah, I decided it like 2 weeks ago on Dutch Open.
So let's actually check out the first clip here because you got hand-trapped a little in game 1 and your field that you ended up with didn't look too impressive. Why was that?
So usually there's another toad with that one end board, but I drew the one fish, the pike, I drew it in my opening hand, so I couldn't summon out all the fish from the deck. So that's why the end board wasn't that good. Like usually there's another toad if you don't draw the pike. So.
Did you get nervous at any point when you saw that your opponent has Fenrir and then into normal Ash? Did you know that? Did you think there was a way that your opponent breaks the spot?
So I was scared that he goes battle phase to try to attack over the goatee monster. So I would have to use it, and then I just hope he doesn't have the witch in his hand. That was like what I'm thinking, like no wanted, but at the end it was just original, so it was fine.
So talking about the goatee monster as well, we saw you in the next clip actually bring out the goatee from beyond. And how many games did you win with this? And more importantly, how many opponents were surprised by this card?
It's actually the first time I summoned this monster, so it's
really?
The first time I summoned the synchro monster. I also wasn't sure if I'm going to play it, but yeah, at the end it was very good. So,
would you have had a different card that you would have put into that slot that could have helped you in this tournament?
No, I don't think so in this tournament, but I was like close to playing a second copy of the Maron's Link too, because it's very cool for follow-up. But at the end I just decided to play one and it was fine.
Well, and when it most mattered on stream, it actually showed up, so that was a very, very cool feature. Let's go into game 2, because actually your Ash Blossom was insanely good there. Did this happen multiple times to you, that you slightly interrupted the Snake Eyes combo and then they couldn't really put anything out?
No, I don't think so. It was like, I think it's the third time I faced Snake Eye only, so not that high number, I would say, but I think most of the times it was one of my loss was Snake Eye because I didn't do enough hand traps, so I think it's the first time that he like passed through one Ash.
And then let's look into the next clip. You're actually using a card that is crucial for the combo, the Poseidra Exceeds monster that you're summoning over another Mermail Exceeds monster, and you use, let's say, the offensive effect. Does this come up a lot when you're going second with Mermail?
Yes, so the card is completely broken, like you send for cost from deck. That's like absurd, and like bouncing up to 3 cards non-target is pretty good, yes. And like also the grave effect is very good. So yeah, the card was insane going second.
We can see already there is at Guillaume's graveyard there is a skill drain. Did you get floodgated many times? And obviously against skill drain you have an easy solution with infantry.
Yes, I also thought it was skill drain, but I was surprised that he didn't flip it at the first time, right? So I got floodgated by Centurion. They always draw the deck lockdown, so yeah, that was I think the only floodgate, and like shifter. But
can you do something against deck lockdown with your deck? Is it just normal summon Neptabus and then?
No, Neptabus you cannot activate.
Right?
Yeah, so like the only out is if you hard draw infantry and you have like an Abyss Toys. That's the only out. I never outed it, and like always you cannot destroy it because of the Centurion synchro. So it's very hard to out from your deck. Yes.
So you just hope that they don't have it, or that you win the dice roll. Oh, fair enough. So and then let's check out the last clip, because after you outed the entire field of your opponent, which wasn't too impressive, you had 1 card left in hand. What did you actually do? Did you want to check the hand of your opponent, or did you want to take the Poplar?
I just wanted to take, so it's game on board. I just take and attack.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. So we have seen you win German Nationals. We have seen you win a YCS before. You were at the YCS finals already in this very season. Do you think that this is again a chance for you to win the game to win the tournament with a crazy combo deck?
I hope so. I like the deck. So I think like there are a couple good matchups, and also like going first the deck is even more crazy than like going second. So I think if I win a lot of dice rolls and like I'm lucky, and like I think I can win. Yes.
If Julius Schwarzkopf likes his combo deck, that is a very, very dangerous game state. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the interview. And I'm going to give it over to Ed Temple.